Hi, and welcome to Silva Manifesting. I'm Laura Silva Quesada, and I'm here to share manifesting techniques that ensure you are living a life of your own design. This product is based in real-life experience and takes you through a step-by-step process to creating an extraordinary life. This powerful and practical Silva process is designed to make the most of your busy life with easy-to-use tools, revealing interviews, and life-changing meditations. So, why do you need to learn more manifestation techniques in the first place? Let me guess. You've heard it all before, right? Manifest a better life, attract the partner of your dreams, make more money. Did you buy into other programs, or even been out of practice with other Silva Method techniques and are just not feeling the amazing feeling of connection in your life right now? I know how frustrating it can be to feel off track. If you are doing all the right things, then why aren't you getting the results that you want? Too often, we find ourselves saying that we want something and then doing things that prevent us from getting what we want. For example, people find themselves saying that they want to start their own business, but secretly, they love the security of their current paycheck and procrastinate on the right steps to take. Then, of course, feel horrible because they were not able to manifest their dream job. Or, I know people who want to feel on top of the world and totally problem-free, but continually talk about what is wrong in their life. Then they say manifestation doesn't work for me. Or better yet, I want to attract or manifest the man or woman of my dreams, but continually they attract the wrong person or no one at all. So they say laws of attraction and manifestation are not real. On the outside, we see an obvious contradiction, but to the person who says these things, it feels very real. In fact, it feels powerless. If you're feeling like your thoughts have been ruling you, then you are in the right place, because the Silva Method and this Silva Manifestation program is the key to your limitless potential in spirit, mind, body, and emotions. Silva has always been about creating more control in your brain and mind. But now, you are about to learn something that really will take you to new heights in your practice. These techniques are designed to be easy to use and to make sure that you are in charge of your thoughts, not your thoughts in charge of you. I do my best to stay on top of the latest information out in the marketplace about how to manifest everything you ever dreamed of. And I have to say that most of what I come across is pretty disappointing. Many people walk away from manifesting programs with the impression that all they have to do is to imagine great things and poof, they will appear. But then they never really quite do what it takes to get what they want out of life. This really upsets me, because although changing your thinking is a very important ingredient for successful manifestations to occur, it alone is not enough. The Silva Method, founded by my father Jose Silva, has withstood the test of time simply because it is geared towards serving others. It is scientifically proven, and it works. After years of refining, I'm going to share for the first time ever a special Silva family secret to manifesting what you want. You will not only learn how to think differently, you will learn how to change your limiting beliefs, connect to your life's purpose and your spirit, and learn to expect real results in your life. There's no need to complicate things. Life is already too complicated. So let's keep it simple. You'll be learning to manifest with a 4-step process unique to the Silva Method: desire, believe, connect, expect. Let's start with desire. Figuring out what you really want sounds easy, but I assure you that if it was so easy, you would already be on your way to getting what you want. I will be teaching you how to channel your desire to live the life that you want. Believe. You will learn how to eliminate the beliefs holding you back and how to start believing in yourself like never before. Connect. This is more than an internet connection we're talking about. You will learn how to connect with your own emotions, other people, and the energy around you to accelerate your manifestations. And expect. You won't get far if you don't expect good things to happen. This is like belief on steroids. Learn how to get rid of self-sabotaging behavior and get real results. In this program, you're going to learn more than manifestation. You're going to create the life of your design. I have used the best of the core Silva methodologies and combined it with leading-edge research in the brain and mind to give you a real-life tool for getting what you want. You will be using 4 key technologies in this manifestation process. First, meditations for your daily life. I'm going to reveal how to meditate on the go with Zap meditations. I know if your life is as busy as mine, these meditations will have to pack a big punch into a short amount of time. Second, core programming. By following this program, you will learn to use core Silva methodology to program your subconscious and start living the life you want. We are going to start building on techniques like the mirror of the mind and glass of water. Third, live life in the zone. Living your life in the zone is about being aligned with your own personal code for success. I'm going to give you all the tools you need to figure out what your personal code is and how to live it. And fourth, history and research. Silva is backed with real research and study on the brain and mind. I'm going to share real case studies where successful people talk about what led them to achieving the life they want and how they live by their own personal code to success. In the Silva Method, we approach positive change from many levels and depths in order to assure real and lasting change. It's no wonder so many of you write to tell me that after learning the Silva Method, you finally learned the secrets to true manifestation. And it's no surprise why. The Silva Method has been around for nearly 50 years. And today, we are changing the lives of more people than ever. Silva has rich history. And it all started back in 1966 with my father, Jose Silva. Looking back, my father was quite a man. He was a visionary, a man way ahead of his time with a message way ahead of its time. Even today, I'm amazed at his genius and how he was able to mindfully tap into the subjective dimension and use it to achieve greatness and contribute greatly to humanity. I'm more amazed that he was able to put his findings into such a simple, effective, and practical format that everyone could learn and gain from. His whole life purpose was to serve humanity by sharing what he had discovered. He knew that what he had learned after 24 years of research that actually continued the rest of his life, would change the face of humanity. In the process, he studied hypnosis, yoga, different forms of meditation, the great psychologists of his time, the secret to the Rosicrucian order, brainwave function, and electroencephalography. I remember him constantly studying and doing research. That's just what he did. Growing up, he would remind me time and time again that the greatest discovery I could ever make was the potential of my mind. My father believed in walking your talk. He would say, "You have to do the do." And that is why I have included a bonus track recorded in 1980. We actually have audio recording of my father talking about his story, how Silva came to be, and research that started it all. You can listen to this bonus track at any point in time when going through this program. Even though I was born into the Silva Method, I wasn't always living a life of my own design. There was a period in my life where I was completely plagued with low self-esteem and an unhealthy lifestyle. I wanted nothing to do with the Silva Method at the time, and my poor self-worth, combined with bad choices, had me headed nowhere and fast. It is not that I didn't want a good life. I wanted a great relationship, but found myself in controlling and manipulative relationships again and again. I wanted to feel energized, but I stayed in the fast lane, abusing my body with the worst kind of stuff. I wanted to be successful. I saw my colleagues at work going places, but I just couldn't seem to get anywhere. For me, it took hitting rock bottom and quite a bit of mental bashing before I started turning things around. In the wee hours of the morning, when I couldn't get to sleep, all I could do was think about, "You did it again. Why do I keep doing this to myself? What a mess you are. You're worthless." And living a lie, pretending that you've got it all so together when you don't. I would look around at people who seemed to be going places and ask, why them and not me? Asking myself that question on many occasions began to build in me the need to know why I had chosen to live the life I was living. And within that, a desire, a deep desire in me to change as much as I could the very aspects that were not working. Simply put, the result of that ongoing pondering led to me developing a deep desire to live a better life. I came to discover and accept that I had a really low self-esteem, mostly due to bad childhood experiences I had kept hidden all my life. I started working on those past issues openly. I sought out support from family members and loving friends. And most of all, I began practicing meditation, working with my fears, setting some clear goals, and using some problem-solving techniques, such as the mirror of the mind and the glass of water, to help me solve problems, experience success, and most of all, build confidence. Eventually, my small successes led to bigger and bigger ones. Bad behaviors were replaced with good ones. I upgraded my skill level and my confidence grew. My self-worth kept getting healthier with every waking moment, and I discovered my PCS, my personal code to success. Once I discovered that, my life kept getting better and better, and to this day continues to get better and better to no end. I am a successful business owner and have the freedom to give back to my community. I have a loving and healthy relationship with a wonderful, supportive husband. My children are independent and successful, and I get to travel around the world helping other people live better lives. I now know, without a shadow of a doubt, that I will always live the life of my own design, a life filled with health, happiness, abundance, peace, and love, everything I desire. Thankfully, returning to my roots, exposing my fears, dropping the ego, rediscovering my family's legacy, and consistently practicing the tools and techniques of the Silva Method allowed me to get back on track and live the life I have always dreamed of. Why didn't I snap out of that muddy haze as soon as I got into it? It's the same reason you are listening to this product. We all need to learn important lessons in life and then empower ourselves with tools to start making better choices. I learned to be courageous and follow through with my discipline of meditating, thinking positively, taking responsibility of my behaviors and outcomes, and solving my problems one at a time. I changed my behaviors. I regained my health. I became debt-free. And above all, I eliminated beliefs that were working against me. It wasn't just one thing that turned things around for me, but a combination of things that with a little practice became a true part of how I now think, believe, and behave, to the point that those patterns became deeply engraved and quite natural. I became what I was thinking. I became what I believed. And my behaviors not only came to reflect it, but also support it. I can truly say that I have it all. And I have taught thousands to learn what it takes to do the same with great success. But everyone has to do the do. Have you ever heard people say that you can't change the spots on a leopard? All this really means is that some people believe that change is not possible. This belief is so limiting because it assumes that you cannot change the way things are, have been, or are going to be. This belief alone could be the thing holding you back from having the life that you want. Because I can assure you that the things that have gotten you to this point in your life, no matter how successful, are not enough to get you to the next level of success. You may have to change a belief. You may have to change a behavior. You may even have to change a feeling or two. But don't worry, because I will be there every step of the way. We now know that change doesn't have to be hard. You most certainly can change the spots on a leopard. Not only can you change them, you can color them differently, add a few more spots, take some away, or align them in patterns that are beautiful to look at, are more resourceful and secure success. You can literally reinvent yourself. In the past, very little importance had been placed on subjective things like emotions, thoughts, beliefs, and perspectives. But now we know that you are more subjective in nature than you are objective. In other words, you are more spiritual in nature than you are physical in nature. My father taught on the importance of using both beta and alpha. He would say, we don't want to be physical giants and mental midgets. We want to be giants in both dimensions. I know some of you may be fearing the constraints of what others might think about you, or what beliefs exist out there regarding the mind and living successfully. When it comes to life lessons, many believe that we have to experience everything ourselves to learn and grow. But now, we live in a world where the smart people, the successful people, don't reinvent the wheel. They learn from other people's experience, and they expand on that experience. Even though many people still subscribe to this belief, you no longer have to suffer to merit. In a world of always-on information of the internet, we know that it's knowledge that exempts us from suffering. My father used to say, ignorance does not exempt us from suffering, knowledge does. The more knowledge you have, the more you're going to secure your success. Learn about what you do. Learn more information. Always keep learning. You see, most people want to live a better life, but don't know how to go about it. The moment they learn a better way of doing anything, the more likely they are to do it than not. And the Silva Method tools and techniques teach you a better way of manifesting the life of your design by solving problems of all kinds. We now know that we no longer need biofeedback equipment to measure brainwave frequency and alert us of when we are functioning at alpha. Our research now shows it's not even about brainwave frequency, but about that very special internal state that you come to recognize leads to problem solving, goal manifestation, and a better life. Going through a life-changing program like this Silva Manifesting course can be exhilarating. You can become so excited and connected to your life that it feels like you are unstoppable. It can also be frustrating at times, and if things get tough, you might feel like giving up. But promise me this. If you start to feel like things aren't working out or you are frustrated with your progress, promise me that you will first listen to the segment on sabotaging your success or choice points. Because if you choose to drop this product, you will only produce more of the same in your life. You've got to fight and maybe even fight hard and work through the challenges that you're having so that you can move forward. You see, the process of self-actualization and real growth has a distinct order. First, you solve problems at a very primary level. In other words, problems dealing with your environment, such as securing a job, paying the bills, putting food on the table, and improving your relationships. Because if you don't take care of problems in your immediate environment, it's really hard to move up the ladder of self-actualization, let alone manifest greatness. Once your environment is in order, then you can start working on your behaviors. Your behaviors must work for you and not against you. Don't kid yourself thinking that you can continue procrastinating on those important projects if you really want to make a big impact in your life and see visible progress. With your environment and behaviors in order, you can begin to concentrate on your skills and capabilities. Kick your talents and skills up a few notches by being an avid student of life, going back to school, taking online courses or home study courses like this one. The more skillful you are, the more in demand you will be and the more monies you are likely to make. And the interesting thing is that as you improve your capabilities, your self-worth will naturally improve. Your good behaviors become reinforced, and your environment inevitably gets better. With your environment in order, behaviors in check, and capabilities on the upswing, you open the door to focusing on improving your beliefs, discarding beliefs that don't work for you and creating new ones that do. And let's face it, your beliefs govern your living experience. You will live out what you believe. By learning and practicing the techniques of the Silva Method, you will experience this process of self-actualization and eventually own it. Don't listen to this one CD and then stick this home study course on your bookshelf. Use it and allow it to change your life for the better. My father used to state, being a collector of insights is not sufficient. Utilizing insights for the betterment of self and humanity are more worthwhile projects. This home study program divulges Silva's strategies for manifestation. Follow the CDs and modules the way that they are outlined to maximize the natural process of creating the life that you want. The process begins with redefining meditation in a way that you can meditate several times a day with practical, open-eyed zap meditations and stoplight meditations. Then, you will then discover your PCS, Personal Code to Success, by decoding your actualization process. And then you will discover your true life's purpose. My father used to say, all programming for prosperity should be built on spiritual foundations. So you will also learn to access the spiritual dimension to determine what you're here for and what you're supposed to do with your life. You will learn tools that help you stay on track with your life's purpose and manifest your dream life. You will learn to tame the monkey in your mind and engage all of who you are spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically in everything you do in order to secure success. You will learn to deal with critical decisions that present themselves throughout your life and make every choice a good one. We will discuss how universal laws play a role in your coming success and how to make you a money magnet. To get the very most out of this program, you will need the following things. You will need a good way to listen to the audios. Some of the audios can be listened to while driving in the car or going for a walk. You don't have to have a fancy MP3 player or iPod to do the program. You'll have access to the audio on the computer at any time, and if you bought the physical CDs, you just need a place to play them. Other audios with meditations are better listened to in a safe environment where you set aside quiet time just for you. I know life is busy, but you deserve this time, and it is crucial for your success. Remember, I'm going to be teaching you Zap meditations that you can do anywhere, anytime, so you won't have any excuses for not doing them. You must have dedication as well. You're making this investment in yourself. So be sure to take the time and energy to give back to yourself with a dedication to complete this program in its entirety. Now, I'll be guiding you through this home study course on manifesting your dreams, but before I do, I want to mention the importance of meditating, thinking positively, and working on your behaviors and your beliefs. You don't have to be a Silva practitioner to use this program, but knowing and practicing the core methods will definitely be helpful to your success. For that reason, you'll notice that this home study course is complete with a reference manual that is also used as a workbook. You'll have access to free downloads, exercises, and interviews, as well as applications and ringers that may be compatible with some of your smartphones. I've also included for those of you who have not yet taken a live Silva training or have bought any of the courses, a CD with information taken from the Silva Life System Home Study Program that explains the Mirror of the Mind technique and the 3 Fingers technique for accessing resources. It's a good idea to listen to these techniques before you move on to the next CD. Because you have invested in this program, I'm going to proceed knowing that you desire to make positive changes in your life and that you believe that you have a right to manifest everything you desire, and even better than that. Also, that you have a general direction of where you're heading and are willing to expand on it. Expand on your vision, a vision of your future life, of a future you. Above all, I'm going to take it as given that you're willing to do whatever it takes to achieve success, and you define success the way you want. The criteria for success is as different from person to person, yet there are very consistent patterns on how to get there. This program is for those of you who will do what it takes to make great things happen in their lives, to make real magic happen by understanding their internal experience and discerning it, then applying what they've discovered for making positive changes in their living experience. I really want you to make the most of this home study course and truly manifest the life of your design. Be sure to start off on the right foot by downloading the Secret Code to Abundance software, created by my friend Paul Bauer, founder of dreamsalive.com. This download is a helpful reminder on your computer to tune into your goals. To guarantee success with your Silva techniques, we recommend that you take the Silva Method live training. For more information or for course schedules and locations, log on to silvamethod.com or call 1-800-545-6463 within the continental United States or 956-722-6391. And be sure to download Silva meditation apps that may be compatible with your smartphones. Now, are you ready to get started? Pump it up, because this program is not for bums, couch potatoes, bludgers, dawsers or slackers, no drainers, or those with a victim mentality. Forget the lazies, humpers, or loafers. No pikers or slackjaws, or underachievers, leechers, or parasites. Forget the spongers, or the freeloaders, or the egotistical, self-serving, inconsiderate, thoughtless people. Unless, of course, you just like to buy products to put on your bookshelf. Didn't know I could rap now, Silva, founder and developer of the Silva Method, is noted as one of the key players in modern meditation and personal growth. His life was a true testament to the power of the mind and daily mental practice. He used to say, the discovery that human intelligence can learn to function with awareness at altered levels of mind will go down in history as the greatest discovery of man. It is sure to change our concepts of psychology, psychiatry, mind, and the subconscious. He discovered an amazing system of mental training that can literally change a person's life for the better. And he worked hard towards that outcome because he knew that if he, a man born from very humble beginnings with no formal education, could rise to the top and leave his mark on humanity, then so could everyone else. He didn't have an easy life. Far from that. His father was an engineer for a railroad company and died from wounds suffered from an accident during the Mexican Revolution. His mother was left widowed with 4 children under the age of 6, one being an infant. This meant my father, at the age of 4, had to get to work shining shoes and selling newspapers in order to help his mom support the family. Yet, the interesting thing is that my father, who was amazing at looking at the positive side of every situation, believed that those unfortunate experiences in his childhood taught him to be an entrepreneur, innovator, and inventor. In fact, aside from being the founder of the world's most practiced method of dynamic meditation, he also has 4 U.S. patents for biofeedback equipment. As I said earlier, life wasn't easy for my father. But that didn't hold him back. He was very keen to spot opportunities and never shied away from hard work. I actually believe he thrived on hard work. Then in his mid-20s, he met the young and beautiful Paula Gonzalez, and they instantly fell in love. They were married 2 weeks later. Go figure. It came to be a marriage that lasted nearly 60 years and resulted in 10 children, 28 grandchildren, and over 25 great-grandchildren. Early in his marriage, and with 3 young children, he was drafted to serve his country. The good thing is that he seemed to create luck wherever he went. And with his knowledge in electronics, his expertise was best used away from the front lines. Lucky, I'll say, especially having lost one of his youngest brothers, Richard, in battle. And interestingly, it was when he was drafted and being evaluated for good physical and mental health that he became interested in psychology and behaviorism. Here's an old recording I found of my father talking about just that.
When I was drafted, like almost everybody my age, during the Second World War, I had a talk with the psychiatrists. I became very interested in what he was doing. I thought at the time he was asking silly questions. But then again, he was asking these questions to be able to draw answers, to see how one responds, to see if we are all there, if nothing is missing up above. And he gave me a book to read, and from here on, I became interested in the study of psychology. My field has been in electronics. So psychology and electronics now. Let's put them together and see what we can do with it. Now, to begin with, I came across a term in the study of psychology, hypnosis. I wanted to know what that was. So I studied under the big wigs in the United States, the big masters in hypnoanalysis, the big hypnoanalysts and medical hypnotists and so forth. I became very proficient in the use of hypnosis. I could help a person enter a certain depth of mind whereby this person could go through surgery without chemical anesthesia. Now that's as deep as you can get anybody. Now from there on, after spending years on hypnosis, I came across the term parapsychology. Well, I wanted to know what that was also. So I started to investigate and subscribe to all centers in the United States, New York City, at the time Columbia University had a department, Wayland Baptist University had a department, England, psychic research out of England, Duke University, Dr. Ryan. Bring me up to date. What is parapsychology? This is where I started to talk to Dr. Ryan and met Dr. Ryan personally. Now, in doing so, I thought that parapsychology was a field of science or a science that would train people to use what Dr. Ryan used to say or call extrasensory perception, or ESP. Well, when I talked to the man, he said, there's no such a thing. Nobody can develop such an ability. It's something like the IQ factor. Some have it, some don't have it. Some have more, some have less. Well, to me, that didn't sound right. I didn't feel that whatever we call God, discriminated and gave some of us more and some of us less. I figure that we all have it, but it needs to be developed. It's up to us to develop whatever that is. And see if one can develop power of mind to be able to resolve problem situations, to find a solution for them. And I continued to study psychology, and I came across the term electrocephalography. Now I'm talking about the electronic equipment that is used to detect and measure brain waves of human beings, human brain waves. Now that was pretty interesting for me, because me in the field of electronics and playing around with equipment that has to do with electronics, we find that the brain vibrates like the heart beats. But the brain vibrates so many times per second, and the heart beats so many times per minute. So the thing is then, looking into the brain, I started to figure, isn't it interesting there's something like cycles in radio? We call thousands of kilocycles in radio, or hertz, now it's been changed to hertz. In television, we talk about millions of, or megacycles, or megahertz. Well, here we're talking about cycles as measured in radio or television, but basic units of measurement. Not thousands of kilos or millions of megas, just simple basic units of measurement. So we're talking about the brain pulses up to an average of about 20 vibrations per second. When one is conscious, the average overall brain frequency that we detect on the human brain is 20 vibrations per second. This is when a person is conscious and awake. You see, we only learn to do two things in life with our brain by natural means, to stay awake and or to go to sleep. But now then, we need to learn to use our brain and learn something else to do with it, not just stay awake and go to sleep. We need to resolve problem situations. This system, or the Silva Method, is a product of a series of coincidences. For me, a coincidence is a certain event taking place whose end results are beneficial, because an event that takes place whose end results are detrimental, I consider an accident. So we did not stumble on this method by a series of accidents. We stumbled, I would say stumbled, came across this method, discovered it, by having experienced a series of coincidences.
My father deeply believed in the positive value of coincidences, and that every so-called accident could easily be converted into a coincidence by searching for the lesson and learning from it. Fortunately, all those coincidences led to the discovery of the Silva Method. Yet, many back in the 1960s and 70s were afraid of this new science he had discovered. His community thought he was crazy. How could a TV repairman, a man without any formal education, someone they knew all of their lives, a Mexican-American born in the small border town of Laredo, Texas, come up with such nonsense? Here's my father once again talking about some of the experiences he had to go through to validate his work scientifically.
Scientists, to begin with, were criticizing us that there's no way you can control brain waves. That the only time you can produce the alpha is in a state of reverie, meaning a non-thinking state, okay? A relaxed mind, non-thinking mind, like in deep meditation, passive meditation. Well, we were saying, no, you can learn to activate your mind and still function in that dimension. Well, they were not accepting it. They were calling us all kinds of names. We're crazy, we don't know what we're talking about, we're not scientists. One name that they used to mention is psychoceramic, meaning crackpots in their language, you know. They're calling us, we're crackpots. Well, okay. And this Mexican whatever, there's no way. Until finally we had to go to a university and make arrangements with the scientists in charge of the psychophysiology labs and to do a project for us to prove that we were right. So we took it to this lab, and sure enough, this individual said, the scientists, the top scientist of this department, he said, Mr. Silva, you know what you're asking for? You're asking to run a project that maybe will destroy your concepts, because you could be wrong, you know. You only think you're right. But if you're so sure that you're correct, we'll run it. Because not only can we prove that you're right, but we'll back it up scientifically. It could go either way. We can back up scientifically that you're wrong, you see, or you're willing to risk it. And I said, I'm so sure of these results that I'm willing to risk it. Well, okay. At the end of the project, we selected some medical students, 50 medical students, in a certain class in University Medical School, and then we pre-tested them with a battery of psychological and parapsychological tests to be able to put numbers on their mental faculties, find a baseline, so to speak. And then we trained them at the university, and at the end of the training, we again used the same battery of psychological and parapsychological tests, and all the numbers changed completely. It's as though we took that individual out and put another in his place. I mean, they were so amazed to see this happening. The scientists were unbelievable. And then a paper was written, scientific work was written, and it was published in a scientific journal in England, that we were correcting what we were saying. From that day on, the scientists that were criticizing us didn't criticize us anymore. They thought they were right. They lost faith, you know. So that was the first scientific proof that we could control our brain waves. And this is what we have done with children now. And since the alpha is the strongest, and we have trained children, we have trained schools completely. The faculty and all, the biggest that we have trained is in Pennsylvania. In Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the Hallahan Project, 2,000 schoolgirls. The school was closed down for a whole week. We brought in all of our top instructors into school, and we trained 2,000 schoolgirls in 1 week. And they were pre-tested and post-tested. And tremendous benefits were achieved after the post-testing. And from there on, we tested them again. Like in some other school, we've tested every 6 months, and it keeps on increasing and improving. Their faculties, the grade point average keep on increasing after the training has been done. And with more practice, they're getting better and better. So actually, for children, one of these days, this system that we have will be incorporated in the educational system to train all students from kindergarten to universities, to medical universities, chiropractic universities, to all levels of engineering and so forth, so that everybody will develop the use of both brain hemispheres with our system. We're willing to cooperate with these people, and we have offered it to them, and we're ready for them to take the next step to supply their needs and help them accomplish this. There's no clean-cut division of humanity or profession that we can say these people need it more than anybody else. Everybody needs it. Keep in mind that if we improve the functioning of the mind, we improve humankind in every area, at any age. This is the most important faculty that we have, the use of our minds in anything. Mind is a common denominator. You can apply it in everything.
What I remember throughout my childhood is that he did research all the time. Daily, he would meet with family, friends, and supporters, and he would hypnotize anyone who wanted to participate in his research, where he would experiment with positive and negative hallucinations, age regressions, age progressions, regression to past lives, future lives, and intuition. The church he belonged to also thought he was crazy and believed he was doing the work of the devil. Neighbors would actually tell my mom to sleep with one eye open in order to keep her guard. My father didn't let any of those critics stop him. Once he had evidence that his findings led to positive and repeatable success, he offered it to the government, but was rejected. He still didn't give up. He just kept on going, having a deep belief that what he had discovered would be of great value to humanity. He then went on a lecture circuit, talking to everyone he could, and it was during one of his lectures at Wayland Baptist University that members of an art class heard what he had to say and wanted to learn everything they could from him in order to enhance their creativity. That was back in 1966. He taught his first Silva Method class to a group of art students, and the word of his work spread like wildfire. Now, the method that you are learning is the evolution of this core research that changed the world. Stay dedicated to your practice. Be open to new ideas, and have fun practicing the Silva Method in your life. Today more than ever, we're all yearning for a way to create the life we have always dreamed of. And as much as you may dream, life and our experience of reality seems to grip us at our very core and tug us back into a false illusion, an acceptance that dreams only come true for the very few, the chosen ones, the lucky ones. And you find yourself on the other side of luck, living day in and day out, worrying about making the grade, finding a job, paying bills, tending to the family, and dreams are quickly forgotten or rarely given the time of day. This is especially true in this day and age where cutting-edge technology is the number one topic of discussion. New high-tech phones, computers, services, or social media platforms that no longer allow us time to escape or decompress from work, calls, text messages, the latest breaking news, the sauciest celebrity scoop, and the signs of doom and gloom forecasted by wise men and prophets of old and new. Well, I'm here to tell you that making your dreams come true is a reality that is within close reach, and manifesting all of your desires is a way of life. In fact, you are already a master of manifestation. You do it all the time. You do it when you wake up in the morning, when you decide what to wear, what to eat. You're constantly manifesting your thoughts, and sometimes your deepest fears as well. Manifesting is something we are all extremely competent at, but most people do it unconsciously. They're totally clueless of their internal experience, the fact that they can manage it and use it for manifesting, and that the process for successful manifestations is repeatable. So before we go any further, let's begin with a general overview of the ideal conditions for manifestation to occur. The first ideal condition is to have a clearly defined outcome. And it's not all that complicated to do. You even have a segment in your reference manual to clearly define your goals. Here are 4 steps to help you define your goals clearly. Step 1. Decide what you want in the most precise manner. The more specific you are, the easier it's going to be for your subconscious mind to serve up what you desire. If, for example, you want a new job, decide exactly what you want to be doing, how much you will earn, and where you will work. Of course, you'll always leave the details open to change, but the exercise convinces your subconscious that you are at least serious about your desires. Step 2. Write down your goals in detail. Elaborate as much as you need to in order to crystallize the goal in your mind. The act of writing down your goals serves to clarify exactly what you want. It has been proven time and time again that people with written goals are far more successful in reaching them. So why aren't you writing your goals? If you know that works, you would be writing them down, wouldn't you? So get that piece of paper and start writing. Step 3. Create a short statement of your goal, even a power word that you can imprint on your mind every time you think of your goal. Simply begin with the phrase, I am now enjoying whatever it is, and add your goal to the end. Or try, I am living with, and add whatever you desire. Note, don't just think it. Mentally experience it fully and completely. And step 4, mentally experience this goal several times throughout the day. Simply internalize your focus and think of your goal achieved whenever you have a spare moment, and wait for the real magic to begin. I'm going to share a statement that you can repeat anytime during your meditations or throughout the day. Feel the truth of these words. I know that with clearly defined goals, I will succeed. I will focus on greatness, and I will arrive. I will live the life of my own design by evaluating, adjusting, and improving. Dennis Waitley, one of America's most respected author, keynote lecturer, and productivity consultant on high performance and human achievement, once said, the reason most people never reach their goals is that they don't define them or ever seriously consider them as believable or achievable. Winners, on the other hand, can tell you where they're going, what they plan to do along the way, and who will be sharing the adventure with them. Now, the second ideal condition is to be extremely mindful of the process. People who are really good at manifesting have made it a part of their life to practice certain universal truths that have, through time, led to positive results. They're mindful of what it took internally and externally to get those results and repeated their actions until those actions became a true part of their being. They literally came to own those actions. It is understanding a process of incorporating through time the lessons you have learned in the Silva Method or in your life, going within, thinking positively, exploring and understanding your internal experience, establishing points of reference along the way, concentrating on the energies of desire, belief, and expectancy, as well as intention, attitude, and imagery. And that's just to name a few. Once you create a process or strategy for manifesting what you desire, follow through. Then you fine-tune it until you begin to witness the evidence of success. And when you are certain that the process works by the obvious evidence that you're experiencing, memorize it, allowing your body, brain, and mind to re-experience the process over and over and over again until you come to know it well. You come to own it. The third ideal condition is to be connected with your purpose in life, to do what you love to do to the point that it is a true reflection of your being. And everything you have is a reward of doing what you love to do, what you are passionate about. We'll talk about this a little bit later. The fourth ideal condition is to be vigilant, It's important to be vigilant of what obstacles deter you from your goal once it's set. Is it worrying, procrastination, lack of discipline, bad habits, or apathy? All of these are symptoms, and they are more than likely due to you not being connected to your life's purpose, to what you feel passionate about and you love to do. If this is you, then it stands to reason that discovering your passion, your life's purpose, is one of the first places to start, and we'll certainly get to that a bit down the road. The fifth ideal condition is to be mindful of valuable lessons learned from the past and the opportunities the present brings. Every bit of information you learned throughout your life that led to your successes and failures, all the knowledge you have gathered, the hard work, the struggles and opportunities, every tool and technique and concept in the Silva Method, everything you know about universal laws and universal truths, are all facets of what it takes to be successful in manifesting. The great thing is that being a Silva practitioner puts you ahead of most because the Silva formula type techniques are deeply embedded with lessons that have to do with just that, how to manifest. Take the centering exercise, also known as the long relax. As valuable as it is for managing stress and strengthening your immune system, it also taught you to focus and concentrate, to calm the mind, and listen to your intuition, to do mental projections using visualization and imagination, and to affirm your self-worth. As simple as sleep control may be, it taught you to deepen profoundly into an internal state that allows you to connect to the very dimension where you can create. And as seemingly obvious the goal of the clock technique is, it also taught you to apply the very elements of desire, belief, and expectancy, leading to manifesting a goal at a specific time. And you must congruently, consistently, and deliberately apply what you have learned. You cannot think and speak positively only when you feel great. You have to do it all the time, especially when you feel lousy. You cannot meditate only when you feel sleepy and tired or ill. You must meditate daily. That's part of the process. You don't just solve your problems. You extend a helping hand and help others solve their problems as well. Everything has value and purpose. And the Silva Method decodes the secret of manifestation. The sixth ideal condition is to be mindful of the fact that your mental screen is always on. That's the area that is past your eyelids and slightly above the horizontal level of sight where you project images. It is perpetually on, and imagery is ongoing. Imagery must be mindfully done, targeted, and penetrating. It must carry with it deep emotions charged with desire, belief, and expectancy. The image of your goal is to be projected onto the mental screen with your eyes open or your eyes closed. Using the mental screen with your eyes open simply requires you to defocus your vision and internalize your focus. When you do that, you can sense your mental screen area and you can picture your goals. Your mental screen is a theater screen of your mind and soul, where you project movies of your deepest desires. And the seventh ideal condition is to have a relationship with your higher self or a power greater than you, often referred to as source energy. But what does that mean when we say source energy? Do you have a clear understanding of what source energy means to you? Does it mean universal energy, life force, God? Is it that energy from where all things come, from where all things originated, going way back to the Big Bang, that responds to your thoughts, images, feelings, and emotions, good and bad? So form a very clear understanding of what source energy means to you, because most people, when they manifest, rely on a power greater than themselves to help them through. If you don't believe me, just listen to yourself or others in times of need. Who are you praying to or asking help from? Just to recap, your ideal conditions for manifestation are: 1. Have clearly defined goals. 2. Be mindful of the process. 3. Connect with your life's purpose. 4. Be vigilant of what deters you from success. 5. Be mindful of valuable lessons, past and present. 6. Keep your mental screen on all the time. 7. Have some kind of relationship with your higher self or with source energy. And to complete this octave of conditions, here is the 8th and most important ideal condition, and that is to meditate daily. It is in meditation where the magic lies. Meditation is a state of mind, and as I've mentioned before, it is important to establish your points of reference of how you feel when you are in deep meditation and have used your techniques with great success. In recalling your points of reference, you are more likely to repeat success and able to recreate that same state of mind with eyes open or eyes closed. And always make a conscious notation of your successes. In fact, take credit for them. In great part, your successes have to do with how you're thinking, believing, and behaving differently, and those differences add or contribute to success in your life. As you meditate, internalize your process and go within. You must become very, very sensitive to both your internal and external experience, for it is in understanding how you function that you will become consciously competent with your manifestation strategy or process. Meditation allows you to understand your internal process and learn how to discern and make effective use of the information you perceive. Information that comes to you from pondering on your future, fears, anything that stirs you in any way. Information in the form of sounds, feelings, visions, and dreams. While meditating, you are able to become familiar with and control that internal voice that excites you, belittles you, humiliates, angers, or encourages you. You come to recognize whether it's even your voice that you're hearing. Maybe it's a parent's or boss's or lover's voice, and not even your own. By becoming well acquainted with your internal experience and managing it, you begin to manage more effectively your external experience. All forms of meditation follow a specific 4-step format. The first step is to enter your meditation. There are many ways of doing that, but most require you to close your eyes, being that 85% of all external stimulus comes from your focused sense of sight. And your focused sense of sight requires the higher beta brainwave frequency to operate it. Our goal in meditation is not to remain at the higher beta frequency, but the slower alpha frequency associated with creativity, healing, and keener problem-solving abilities. The second step is to deepen your internal state. This is done by part body relaxation, deep breathing, focused concentration, countdowns, and relaxing imagery. The third step is programming, or the purpose of the exercise. Sometimes you will want to mindfully work on a goal or project, and other times, such as in the case of the exercise you're about to do, you simply want to relax. And the fourth step is some way of exiting the meditation. You can open your eyes, count yourself out gently from 1 to 5, or simply enter sleep. So let's practice a little meditation exercise that will allow you to begin to pay more attention to what's going on inside and establish markers or points of reference with your internal experience. Recalling the markers or points of reference in future meditations will allow you to reach that same internal experience faster and easier every time you practice. Now remember, when meditating with your eyes closed, you must select a safe environment in which to meditate. And although it's not necessary for deep relaxation or achieving a deep meditative state, you will hear a sound in the background in most of the exercises that will help you to relax. The sound consists of a blend of music, a solfeggio frequency, and a theta beat. You may hear this exercise with or without a headset. Using a headset will allow you to hear the sound binaurally. Always listen to the exercises in this CD set with your eyes open first before doing them with your eyes closed. This will allow you to become very familiar with what you're going to hear, and there will be no surprises to interrupt your meditation. Let's get ready. Begin by loosening your clothing and taking off your glasses if you wear them, as well as your shoes. Sit or lie comfortably. Close your eyes. Yawn, or take a deep breath. And as you exhale, let go of any concern you may have, as well as any tension or pressure you may feel throughout your body. Relax your tongue and jaw. Become aware of being still. Notice that you are sitting or lying quietly and just observe how it feels. Now be aware of how the chair, bed, or floor is making contact with your body, and what parts of your body are in contact with the chair, bed, or floor, such as your feet, legs, hips, back, or arms. Simply observe and become aware. Now, concentrate on your breath. Observe what happens when you breathe in and out, slowly, deeply, and rhythmically. Put all of your focus on your breathing. Notice how your body moves as you breathe. How your chest and abdomen rise when you breathe in and relax as you breathe out. You can place your hands over your abdomen so that you can feel the movement of your body more easily. Keep your awareness on this movement. be aware of the gentle rise and fall of your body as you breathe in and out. Feel the flow of air through your nose into your lungs as you inhale, and then the flow from your lungs out through your nose as you exhale. If your mind wanders, simply bring your awareness back to your breathing and your body. Stay with this process for a minute or so, just observing your breath. Now establish points of reference with your breathing. The wonderful feeling of physical relaxation and your calm mind. Remember this feeling and allow your body, brain, and mind to remember this feeling. Now gently open your eyes, stretch, yawn, and come back to your outer level of awareness. It's a great idea to do this short exercise daily. Each day extend the duration slightly to where you end up spending 10, 20, or even 30 minutes in meditation. This short meditation can have a profound effect on your physical and mental health when practiced regularly. And remember to practice a long relaxation exercise at least once a week. As good as long meditations are to understand your internal process, goal setting, role playing, health and healing, and enhanced spirituality, there are many benefits to short meditations, and even shorter meditations I call zap meditations. This is a great time for us to consider a different perspective on what meditation is, because you're probably meditating more often than you think, more often than you give yourself credit for or realize. Most people think that meditations have to be lengthy and take you very deep within, and that meditating takes years to master. Although that's not always the case, Sustaining a state of passive meditation that involves theta functioning can take some time to master and really depends on the meditator and the outcome desired. Yet, dynamic meditations involving alpha functioning don't really take any time at all to learn, and the alpha brain frequency is really very easy to reach. Just close your eyes, relax, and internalize your focus. And what is more important than that is the mental state that you come to recognize leads to successful outcomes regardless of the brain frequency. Anytime you internalize your focus with a purpose in mind, for example, to go over your goals, to see your future evolving in the way you desire to evolve, or connect with your inner self and experience your oneness with all else that is, even if it's just for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, or 2. You are meditating. You are focusing energy in that direction. So if you meditate several times a day, for 2 minutes each time, you're doing yourself a great service. But always practice from time to time a formal meditation that takes you deep within, where you can continue to establish subjective points of reference with your internal experience. Doing so will allow you to go in and out throughout the day with the little time you may have available to you and make that difference when it comes to manifesting your dreams and your goals. Meditation has several aspects. You can do a closed-eyed meditation where you can eliminate 85% of the external stimulus that comes in through your eyes, allowing you to calm down or to focus within more deeply. And that can be more of a passive type meditation. To create a passive moment several times during the day, simply close your eyes, take a deep breath, and notice your breathing as you inhale and you exhale. Become aware of your heartbeat. Then connect with your core self, your spirit self deep within. Feel your aliveness and then connect with all else that is as you continue to breathe deeply, slowly, and rhythmically. Just a very small, quiet moment, a passive moment. If you do this several times a day, you will allow yourself to stay clear in mind, more relaxed, in control, manage your emotions more easily, and be able to think through problematic situations. So passive moment meditations are a great way to do that throughout the day. Anytime you look at your watch can be a trigger for you to pause and deliberately go into a passive moment with that goal in mind. So let's do it right now. Look at your watch, notice the time, and remind yourself to do a passive moment meditation. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and exhale slowly, rhythmically, breathing deeply. Become aware of your heartbeat, of your inner self, your spirit, your very core, your very nature of you being alive, intelligent. Become aware of your surroundings and your connection with all else that is. Use your imagination, your sensing, your feelings, while breathing deeply, slowly, and rhythmically. Now open your eyes. Now that didn't take very long, just a minute. And do you notice any difference between how you felt before the exercise and how you feel now? Now let's do it again, only this time you do it on your own. I'll just tell you when to start, and when you hear my voice again, you ease out of the meditation and open your eyes. Ready? Start. Coming out now. Open your eyes. There. Easy enough to do several times during the day. Don't you agree? So passive moment meditations are really effective. Now, when meditating with your eyes open, internalize your focus by defocusing your vision. And for a fraction of time, focus your attention to the image of the goal. So day in and day out, every time whatever it is you want to manifest comes to mind, just take a few seconds to internalize and picture outcomes. Outcomes, 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 and benefits. Always focus on outcomes and benefits. What I'm referring to is probably your best example of dynamic, energetic meditation. Let's do that now by selecting a goal you want to manifest. In this practice session, we are also going to incorporate the mental screen, an aspect of open-eyed meditation, and the subjective energies of desire, belief, and expectancy. Now, don't do this while driving, please. I need for you to be in a safe environment for meditating. Let's get started by selecting a goal that you would love to manifest. Got it? Okay, ready. Close your eyes and picture on your mental screen that goal. Picture it as clearly as possible in the same way that you would recall a photograph or a favorite movie or a clip on YouTube. Sense the image to be out and away from your body past your eyelids and slightly above the horizontal level of sight. That is the area of your mental screen. Focus on the goal image you are picturing with your mind. Describe it to yourself in detail and color. This may help to make a clearer image. Now desire it intensely. Believe it intensely. Believe that you are worthy of it and capable of manifesting it. And feel an intense expectation that it will manifest. Now, still focusing your mind on the image of the goal, coupled with the subjective energies of desire, belief, and expectancy. Open your eyes. Allow your eyesight or vision to remain defocused as if daydreaming. Continue to picture the image on your mental screen, but now with your eyes open and defocused vision. Make a point of reference of this experience. Remember how this feels. Okay, now, blink, focus, and out again. Now that took just under 2 minutes to do. Now let's shorten the meditation a bit more. You know where to picture your image on your mental screen, out and away from your body, and you know how to muster up intense desire, belief, and expectancy. So now, close your eyes and picture clearly the same goal you would love to manifest on your mental screen. Focus on the goal image you are picturing with your mind. Muster up intense desire, belief, and expectancy. Now open your eyes, still focusing your mind on the image of the goal with your vision defocused as if daydreaming. Continue to picture the image on your mental screen with your eyes open. Remember how this feels. Okay, now blink, focus, and out again. This meditation took under a minute to do. How's that for a zap meditation? Now let's do a 20-second zap meditation that will come in handy for energizing your goals throughout the day and every time you think of your goal. Ready? This time, begin with your eyes open, defocus your vision as if daydreaming, and picture clearly the same goal you would love to manifest on your mental screen. Focus on the goal image you're picturing with your mind. Muster up intense desire, belief, and expectancy. Continue to picture the image on your mental screen with your eyes open. Okay, now blink, focus, and out again. Ready for a 10-second zap meditation? Okay, let's go. Defocus. Picture goal. Desire it. Believe it. Expect it. It's yours, all yours. Blink, focus, and out again. Now, do the same process on your own. I'll give you 10 seconds to do it. Ready? Start. Stop. One more time. Ready? Start. Stop. Now one last time. Ready? Start. Stop. Very good. As I've mentioned before, don't do this while driving, but this is a great zap meditation to do when you're approaching the stoplight. The moment you see that yellow light, bring the goal to mind. Stop at the red light and program, and continue to program, focusing on goals, outcomes, and benefits. The moment the light turns green, you blink, you come back out, focus, and go. And this is what we call the stoplight meditation. Meditating with your eyes open will allow you to energize your goals frequently throughout the day. Mindful, open-eyed meditation is effective and will help keep you on your path to successful manifestation. So every time you think of your goal, you are to internalize your focus and zap your image with the subjective energies of desire, belief, and expectancy, because those goals, once acknowledged, are just waiting to be manifested into your living reality. I talk to a lot of people who have manifested great things in their lives, and you'll hear from several of them during this program. Many of them have learned to study their own internal process for manifesting their goals. And one of these people is my sister Isabel. Now, many of you have listened to the various Silva Method home study programs and have heard Isabel speak. Some of you have even seen her do caseworking, where she demonstrates how to sense information with your mind. She's quite fantastic. I've always thought of Isabel as a very successful woman, especially because she followed her dream and made the most of it. She is now a retired nurse anesthetist and has done great things and helped thousands of people throughout her life. She says that her strategy for manifestation involves prioritizing goals, which is for her the most important step. She makes sure she sets realistic goals and timetables that she can follow. She follows that with a plan. Writing down her plan in great detail is a process that seems to work well for her. She then tests the plan and allows for adjustments if necessary, and her focus is always on the outcome. She then proceeds with the plan and stays on course. It's important for you to discover your process for successful manifestations and be consistent with your practice of the tools you have learned. And that's one thing that Isabel has always been. She has always been very, very consistent and congruent. And to increase the power of the process exponentially, it's important to be persistent as well. This is a great time for you to become aware of the process you use to manifest your thoughts or your goals. This process is your own recipe for success. It might even be a good idea to write it down in your workbook. If you're driving and cannot write, or simply don't like to write your thoughts down, then just think about the process, because you have either consciously or unconsciously used it repeatedly throughout your life. And although you may have been somewhat unconscious of it, it seems to have always been somewhat the same. You repeated the same pattern, the same steps to achieve outcomes. And it doesn't really matter if it's something you really, really want or really, really fear. It's the actualization process of the strong, constant, emotionally charged thoughts that need to be very clear in your mind. In other words, your personal code to success. What is it that you do to make things happen? For this purpose, think of a time that you wanted something really, really badly. Maybe it was someone you were secretly in love with. Maybe it was an increase in your pay or a job promotion. Whatever it was, think about it now and connect with it. Now think of another time when you had a persistent thought that materialized. In other words, a time when what you thought about came about. Can you remember one or two of those occasions? Now think of a time when you really believed in something so strongly, so deeply, that it seems that your belief alone made it happen. Now think of a time when you had a feeling of something is going to happen, an expectancy of sorts, and it does happen. Like I know just any moment, any day now, I can feel it coming, and then it does. From all of these prior experiences, where you apparently were successful at manifesting your thoughts or your dreams and desires, and even your fears, how were those thoughts different than the usual thoughts? Were they always present in your mind? Did they seem to pop up every little while? Did you ever find yourself daydreaming about it, even somewhat unconsciously? Were you thinking about it the moment you awoke, went to sleep? Were there any images, emotions, or feelings associated with those thoughts? Did you suddenly find yourself internalizing your focus the moment you thought of what you desired? In other words, when you think about something you really, really want and you're alone, what happens to you? Do you go within and ponder on these things, on these thoughts, and on these goals, on these ideas? And if so, how long do you think you spend on that internal mode of thinking? A minute? 2 minutes? 5? More than 5 minutes? In your mind, replay what you experience when you initiate and go through the process that eventually leads to your desired outcome. And the reason I'm asking you to go through this little exercise is because